od radnega dana. You can't live on an 8-hour day. In the afternoons, you would sharpen your saws. Boy, how I hated that sound, but I loved to watch you do that. Or stone sharpen the kitchen knives, fix your workhorses, change your planks and organise your tools ready for the next day. You were the ultimate gardener. You would dig the garden and plant your vegetables, blitva, mahune, mrkva, kompire, tikve, pomidore, krastavats, lettuce, capsicum, you name it. You loved your bandarinka, sheepak and smokva trees, keeping watch so the birds and the bats wouldn't eat them first. You loved to watch how food would start from a seed to our plates. I think Luca won't ever forget helping you prepare the garden last spring. You laughed so hard when he was nearly sick from Mum's homemade compost. You're a caring man. You showed compassion for everyone. Whenever somebody came to you, you freely gave them assistance in whatever way you could. I remember some of the times that Uncle Shima came to visit. You would just say a few words and it would have a profound effect on him. I will never forget your final hours, how he reminded you of what they were. The fisherman. Whilst I did not share your love of the sea, I got seasick more times than I'd like to remember. It wasn't just recreational for you, it was to put food on a table. One time he brought home a live gummy shark and put it in our bathtub. We played with it until we went to bed. I think he cleaned it up and gave it to us for dinner the next night. I'm sure Tony and my boys will cherish our weekends taking you up the lake. Tony especially will miss going fishing with you and Vlatko and talking about the ones that fell in the boat, though there were a few that fell out. I loved watching you squid fish, the way you used the hand line so fast and so light touch. I was in awe how you did it considering the size of your fingers, how you would laugh when I wouldn't want to touch them or get inked. A handyman. Always good with your hands, you could fix just about everything and anything. You would take your time and study what needed to be done. You hated shopping, but Bunnings was your favourite place. When Tony embarked on a renovation project, he would pick you up and have you there as his advisor. You enjoyed sharing our lives and being part of our projects, and you would say, "Kate naučim, pa ću te zgubit." When I teach you, you won't need me. You were always mindful, always thinking and deep in thought, planning your next move and how to achieve your goals. You always strived to have enough. It was about being comfortable and sharing what you had. I remember asking you often, "What are you thinking?" And you would say, "Puno u glavi, a ništa što vredi." A lot on my mind, but nothing of worth. A faithful man. You made sure that we received all our sacraments and attended obligatory days. In your retirement, you strengthened your faith. I was impressed that you learnt to use YouTube to listen to the Kurice and Litania. I will always hold in my heart when it was just me and you in hospital that I had the opportunity to hold your hand and pray the rosary while you were sleeping. When you woke, you said, "Chusante." I heard you. You have resilience in a number of workplace accidents that you had were fatal. I remember watching you go through rehabilitation after the circular saw catcher didn't retract and it cut your leg to the bone. The doctors didn't think you would walk again, but you did. Then you fell off the frame and badly damaged your head. Thankfully, you didn't have any brain injury. At the age of 50, you were diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. That changed your life, but never did I hear you complain or ask why. In the past 10 years, your conditions increased with kidney failure, heart failure, thyroid issues, and more recently, lung cancer. Always so patient, and even when you didn't receive the best hospital care, you took your pain in your stride, saying, "Molim Boga za strpljenje da se zdržim." Grant me the patience to the end. Technology. You weren't always interested in the latest trends. What about the time I bought you the first microwave? "Ovo nije dobro." "This is not good," you said. But when it broke, "Linda, we need to get a new one." When COVID hit, you and Mum learnt how to use Facebook to find a church service to listen to. You enjoyed using the internet-based chats like Viber and WhatsApp to get in contact with your sister and brothers-in-law. You entertained my stupidity with Snapchat filters and would say, "Moja ruga se ka možeš." Make fun of me while you can. You loved it when we video called the family from your hospital bed saying, "Baš mi je drago da sam svih vidi." I'm really happy that I saw everyone. I missed out on seeing you as a son with the passing of your parents before I was old enough to understand. I spent time with your brother, sister and cousins who enlightened me on your formative years. To my absolute delight, you and Mum joined me, Tony and our boys in Croatia. Seeing you with your sister explains so much about you. Her childish giggles as she would recount your cheeky ways and how you snorted in agreement. I'm honoured to have shared that with you. As my father, I saw you for who you were, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You didn't do fake, it wasn't in your nature. I thank you for the journey we shared as father and daughter, and with Mum, Bledko and Teresa. We will continue to care for Mum just like you asked. Nemojte ostavi staru samu. Take care of your mother. We will talk about you often to keep you alive. Dad, I miss you already and pray that the dear Lord has given you eternal rest, always and forever.
My niece once referred to my father as Miracle Man, which resonated with me because that's how I saw him too. Strong, fearless and courageous. As we come together to celebrate my dad's life and share stories of him throughout the ages, I am sure I speak for all when I say that he was an honest and fair man. He was compassionate and above all else a hard worker and a provider. Dad was a perfect blend of strength, resilience, fortitude and warmth. His love was unrivalled. My fondest memory was at my wedding day when Dad honoured me with the last dance. There was not a dry eye in that reception centre as he waltzed me around that room with every ounce of energy he had. Proud as punch that he was there to give the youngest of his 3 children away and able to have that dance with me. He said, "Let's do this, možemo ili ne." Whether I can or can't, he wanted to do this. Against all odds, he's always been a fighter. Dad had fought through his illnesses with strength and dignity. He never complained and had a never give up attitude. He was a humble man with a very tough exterior, yet he let a piece of himself with everybody he'd ever met. Life wasn't easy for Dad, and I can't say life with Dad was always easy either. But as I grew up and listened to his story of the old country, his beloved Lombarda, the hardships, the poverty and the struggles to escape, I understood. Dad wasn't one to outwardly show affection, but he loved our mother, his wife, his queen, his carer, his life partner and his rock. She was his everything. When they say in sickness and in health, my parents are the perfect example. For 54 years, they have shared everything life can offer together. They were a great team, supporting each other in every aspect. Dad was not a man of many words. He expressed his love through actions. He had a generous heart and potential for infinite love, whose outlook was one of joy and humour, whose mind dwelled equally on the preachings of the Catholic faith and occasionally philosophers. His happiness came from the humble simplicity of family, friends, fishing, boating, and time in his precious garden. His passion for woodworking in his retirement gave him many hours creating furniture for us all. He was a real perfectionist, fastidious, and he was very particular. He was also a little eccentric. We all know the story about how he started to build a boat in the backyard, then moved it to the front yard to be completed. This monstrosity. The finished product brought us many happy memories sleeping on the Lake Macquarie and other little cruises. Dad commanded respect simply by virtue of cultural custom, but it was a respect that was earned and deserved by virtue of his character. His passing has brought great sorrow, endless tear, and a big sting to our hearts. My siblings and I, like other children of migrants, know that we are who we are because we have stood on the shoulders of giants. Dad has instilled in us values of ethics, decency, morals, and integrity. His legacy he leaves in us. Dad, now you may rest in eternal peace, pain-free, and join your parents and your siblings. Until we meet again, thank you, Dad, for everything you have done for us, given us, and above all taught us. We will miss you and will always love you.
Izvolite ustati. Kao vjernici skupili smo se da ispratimo tijelo svoga brata, s pouzdanjem se pomolimo Bogu kojem sve živi, da tijelo ovog našeg brata što ga raspadljiva ispraćamo, uskrisi na neraspadljivost blaženi, a dušu mu pridruži broju svojih svetih i vjernih. Milosrdan mu bio na sudu, od smrti otkupljen, dugova oslobođen, s ocem izmiren i na ramenima dobrog pastira, nek zasluži ući u pratnju vječnoga kralja, te uživati nepresušnu radost i društvo sveti. Pomozite sveci Božji, ususret iziđite anđeli Gospodnji, primite dušu njegovu. Ponesite pred lice Svevišnjega. Primio te Krist koji te pozvao i u krilo Abrahamovo anđeli te poveli, primite dušu njegovu. Pokoj vječni darujemo Gospodine i svjetlost vječna svjetlila mu. Ponesite pred lice Svevišnjega. Oče naš,
koji jesi na nebesima, sveti se ime Tvoje, dođi kraljestvo Tvoje, budi volja Tvoja, kako na nebu, tako i na zemlji. Kruh naš svakdanji daj nam danas i otpusti nama duge naše, kako i mi otpuštamo dužnicima našim. I ne uvedi nas u napast, nego izbavi nas od zla. Milosti puna, Gospodi s Tobom, blagoslovljena Ti među ženama i blagoslovljen plod utrobe Tvoje, Isus. Sveta Marijo, Majko Božja, moli za nas grešnike, sada i na času smrti naše. Amen.
u ruke Tvoje, blagi Oče, izručujemo dušu svoga brata, čvrsto se nadamo da će oni svi koji u Kristu preminu u posljednji dan s Kristom uskrsnuti. Zato, Gospodine milostivo, poslušaj naše molitve, otvori sluzi svome rajska vrata, a nama što ostajemo, daj da se uzajamno tješimo riječima vjere po Kristu Gospodinu našemu.
Amen.
Gospodin s vama.
I s duhom Tvojim.
Blagoslovio vas svemogući Bog, Otac i Sin i Duh Sveti.
Amen.
Idite u miru.